Welcome back everybody to Forza Motorsport, and today we're taking a look at the 2016 BMW M4 GTS. So production of this started in 2016, only 700 of these were made, so it's a very limited production run of vehicles. And yeah, it's basically a more track focused hardcore version of the standard M4 Coupe, which I've already looked at a while ago. And yeah, that means it weighs about 60 pounds less than the standard M4. Mainly gets this down to a stripped out interior, a titanium exhaust and a carbon fibre splitter and rear wing, but it also has a roll cage, so some of the weight reduction is then obviously offset by the addition of some elements. But yeah, on the whole it is a fairly good looking vehicle. I really like the additional elements that it's got going on for it. But granted, there is a lot less in the way of practicality with this car. As you can see, it's got a massive roll cage where the rear seats would have normally been. Another element that's obviously saved weight is the fact that it does have no rear seats. As you can see, the front seats are also much thinner. They're carbon fibre looking seats, which is obviously going to help save a lot of weight. You do still have plenty of equipment though. As you can see, still got like buttons on the steering wheel and your air conditioning and such. But yeah, as far as normal creature comforts like comfy seats and rear seating and such like that, yeah, you're not going to be looking at that kind of stuff. Boot space though is still pretty much the same. There's no real sacrifice in that regard, so still has some practicality, but yeah, it's definitely been reduced with those rear seats going, and I doubt it would be the comfiest of vehicles on long road trips due to those seats. But the biggest difference is the amount of power that this car now has. So yeah, it's still got a 3 litre twin turbocharged inline 6 like the standard M4, but it's now producing 493 horsepower and 442 pounds-feet of torque, which is largely down to a very innovative but not often used system called a nozzle water injection. I'm not entirely sure how it works, but at the end of the day it does mean that you're getting 68 extra horsepower over the standard car. And yeah, when you combine that with the fact that it weighs less, then yeah, you have a pretty powerful and quick car as far as straight line performance goes, as well as on the top end. So yeah, but obviously being a track car, it's not going to be as suitable for the road as a standard vehicle. But yeah, weighing at 3,329 pounds is still a very lightweight car for something that has nearly 500 horsepower, which is, yeah, even nowadays is quite a lot. Even the competition version of the M4, the newer version, has only about 10 horsepower more, and that actually weighs I think actually about 500 pounds extra over this. So weirdly enough, despite this being older than that car, this is actually quicker to 60 and to 100, not by a massive margin, but it is still slightly quicker. But nonetheless, with this being a track vehicle, let's get it out onto the track and see what it can do. Right, so here we are at the Nürburgring GP circuit, chosen not because it's a German circuit, and this is obviously a German car, but because it's a good mix of straight line speed and cornering. So let's hear what this car sounds like, and then we'll talk about it some more. So yeah, it's a decent sounding engine, but it's far from my favourite sounding BMW. It just doesn't sound quite as, loud or as, sports orientated as I would have expected for what is ultimately quite a track focused vehicle. I was expecting it to sound a lot more impressive, because you would anticipate such a vehicle that is as quick as this to have a much more impressive sounding engine note, but it really just doesn't. Far better sounding inline 6 engines that BMW have done in the past and since, for that matter, but still it is decent enough, and it is at least not annoying. What certainly is not annoying is the way that this handles, as yeah, it really is on point. You've got really good brakes to slow the car down, good turning, the power isn't overwhelming the rear tyres at all, and obviously the faster you're going to go, the more downforce that the rear spoiler and the front splitter are going to produce. You're looking at around 200 pounds extra weight on that rear spoiler at around 186 miles an hour. Now obviously, you know, doing that kind of speed around a corner is unlikely, but it does show that, you know, there is downforce acting on that spoiler, and even if it's only, you know, 50 or 60 pounds or something like that, that is still going to help the car keep the rear end in check. So yeah, on the whole, I can't fault the handling whatsoever, to be honest, and I can't fault the straight line performance either. Like I said, this is faster than the newer M4 Competition Coupe, which is 5 years newer than this. Not by the biggest of margins, it's only by a few tenths of a second here or there, but still, 0 to 60 is dealt with in only 3.71 seconds, 0 to 100 is dealt with in 7.97 seconds, and it will go into a top speed of 193 miles an hour. Now the newer M4 does top this in terms of top speed, that can do 196, but yeah, this is undoubtedly, although only marginally, quicker when it comes to 0 to 60 and 0 to 100 times, which yeah, is really, really impressive, and it just goes to show that weight can be a killer when it comes to acceleration, because that newer M4 has more power, pretty sure it has more torque, and yet it is slower than this older car. So yeah, aim of the game really should be weight saving when it comes to cars like this, and even though I feel like the weight saving is a little bit more on the extreme side of things, I don't really think that they need to, you know, completely remove the rear seats, for instance. It does have the added advantage of, you know, strengthening the chassis, reducing body flex with that roll cage, also improves safety as well should you take this on the track and unfortunately crash it, which would be obviously a shame given there's only 700 of these being made. Or have been made even, so yeah, but on the whole, yeah, it's a good sports car. Not, you know, the most well-rounded, it's only really going to be able to do, you know, straight line performance and handling, but if that's all you're after, then this, yeah, will suit you down to the ground. But if you're after something that has both of those elements but is also usable on a day-to-day basis, is more of a more comfortable, more able to soak up the miles, and yeah, definitely look elsewhere. But still, it's an enjoyable track car, and this is obviously a track focused game, so it should perform pretty well when you come to upgrading it and such. Although I do feel like the fact that it's in S class, as you can see at 701, you're going to need to heavily upgrade it to get it to, you know, the level that some cars in this class are, because most cars in this class from the start do have in excess of 500 horsepower, some even weigh a lot less than this one, so it could easily be outpaced when it comes to upgrading it fully, but even in stock form it is still pretty damn rapid, and yeah, overall an enjoyable vehicle to drive. So yeah, this is technically going to be capping off this whole BMW kind of phase on this game. Not to say that I won't revisit the brand at all again for any other videos, but obviously we have done a lot of BMW focused videos as of late, with the BMW Tour, all of the championships within that, and then, you know, driving the cars around tracks and stuff like that. So I think the only other video I'm going to be doing is the race vehicle that you win from doing the BMW Tour. I think that is the last one that is going to be done, that is focusing on BMW for a good few weeks at least. So yeah, but it has been fun overall with all the BMWs that have been added to this game. I'm surprised I hadn't reviewed this M4 GTS before, because I have reviewed the base M4, I've reviewed the M4 Competition Coupe, which succeeded this, so yeah, I am surprised I haven't done it before, but I'm glad I finally got round to it, because it is overall a solid vehicle. Nonetheless, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.